So whether you run interstates, US highways, or just local streets, whether you run the same interstates every day, or you just run all the interstates in America, it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have construction, you're gonna have an accident, which shuts all the lanes down, or it's just gonna be a point where you just flat out miss your turn, or you just can't get over in time. So we're gonna talk about how we handle those situations and what not to do. So let's talk about when the interstate gets shut down. Now, most states, if not all, they now have the signs, the digital signs on the interstate, where it might say MLK 1 mile or whatever the case may be. Now, we all, as truck drivers, we all hate when it says all lanes shut down, please take detour or find alternative routes, something along those lines. Now, as a truck driver, you know, assuming that you're using your trucker GPS, but a lot of us don't, but assuming you are, more than likely a trucker GPS is going to give you that alternative route that a truck can take. Now, if you don't, it's always a good idea to be proactive. As soon as you see that sign, you know, pull over, just pull over on the side of the road, you know, put your four-ways on, look at your maps and see what road you can take that's a truck-approved route. Now, a lot of times when they make these detours, they don't always keep us truckers in mind. So don't try to follow, never try to follow a car on a detour, because like I said, a car is gonna be able to go down that road. A truck might not, you know. You never know, that road you follow on, it might take you to a low clearance bridge. It might take you somewhere where there's low trees, low power lines. So always, guys, pull over and see which roads you can take. Now, personally, it's always good to use the Google Earth. That way you can actually see that road. You know, try to find a road that runs parallel to an interstate. Now, sometimes you might have that. Sometimes it might take you out the way. And then sometimes you flat out won't be able to take a detour, because sometimes there may not be a road that runs parallel to the highways, you know. So sometimes you might have to just take that L and just sit until whatever's going on clears up. And as you guys know, if it's a fatality, you know, it's gonna be shut down for hours. You know, it is what it is. But like I said, it's always a good idea, try to find a US highway, because as you guys know, those who don't know, a US highway, 99% of the time, it's approved for trucks, meaning it's not gonna, a US highway is not gonna take you through a low clearance bridge. From my experience, I've never had that happen to me. All right, so that's with accidents. Now with road construction on an interstate, typically when they come up with detours, they make them that way trucks will be able to go through it. Perfect example, this past Friday, 75 was shut down right at I think it was State Road 52. So I was a little skeptical of the detour, so that's why ahead of time, me and I think another LTL guy, we had both pulled over and we were looking to see if in fact we could go down that road, because it was a little twisty and I was pulling, you know, a set of doubles. And that's another thing, if you're pulling a set of doubles or triples, you definitely want to make sure, you definitely want to be that first one pulling over, making sure that you can follow that detour, because I'm telling you, you don't want to have to break down a set of doubles because you can't make this turn, or you're in a situation where you can't back up. Take it from somebody who's done it. I've done it before. It happened to me a while back. I had missed my turn. Unfortunately, I could not turn around, so I had to just take that L and break it down and then try to make a U-turn. It was not a fun experience. So I am definitely extra careful and making sure that I'm paying attention and not missing my turns. Because all it's gonna take is just one time for you to learn to pay attention out here. But anyway, I was talking about the scenario from Friday. So yeah, I was able to go down. Now, some of those turns were extremely tight. Those of y'all that are familiar with Pasco County, Old Pasco Road, it's very windy in some areas. So it was kind of tight, you know, making those turns with a set of those. But nonetheless, I did it. Now, like I said, when you see these detours, don't wait until the last second. I see a lot of people, they do that. They'll wait till the last second, and then they're on the exit ramp, you know, trying to figure out a detour. Don't wait last minute, you know. Even if you have to get out and ask, you know, the officer, because most construction zones, big ones, they're gonna have highway patrol out there. I've even had to get out before, you know, and just ask them like, hey, which way can I go? You know, is it best to go this way? Should I wait it out? You know, don't be afraid to get out and ask. Now, most of the time, from my experience, you know, they've been willing, you know, to let us know, because most of them, they know, you know, if trucks can go down that road. But again, it's still your responsibility, you know, to figure that out. But that scenario, I was in an area where I had no signal whatsoever. I think I was out in North Carolina somewhere. I had no signal at all, so I had no choice but to ask the officer. And also, never follow another truck. Don't just assume that that truck is trying to get around, because it's a possibility that that truck you're following, you know, he might be making a delivery locally in that town. So never follow somebody on a detour, because like I said, you don't know and you can't verify that they're trying to get back on the interstate. Same with the US highways. So always pull over. Now, when it comes to these low clearance bridges, guys, if you see low clearance, you want to immediately pull over. And guys, I'm going to say this a few times, do not be afraid to pull over in the middle of the street. You know, I've done it before. I've seen lots of drivers do it. Don't be afraid to just stop in the middle of traffic. Put your four-ways on, because I would rather put my hazards on and have cars blow at me than to continue down that road and tear my trailer off, you know? So, I mean, you can decide, tear your trailer off or get blown and maybe cussed out at. If I'm, me personally, you know, I'll take some verbal abuse before I put my CDL in jeopardy and damage equipment, you know? Because if you hit a bridge, you know, you might want to look for another job, because you're more than likely going to get terminated. It's going to go on your DAC, and then you're screwed. So always pay attention. And a good tip to remember, if it's a parkway, it's a good idea not to get on it unless you know 100% that you can go down that road. Expressways, guys, some expressways, you know, you may not be able to go down, you know. And always, guys, just pay attention to the signs. You know, if it says no through trucks, it's a good idea that you don't do that. You know, if it says 12.6 or anything under 13.6, guys, don't go down now. In the winter time, sometimes if it's snowing, you know, it might raise it up a little bit. Or if they just pave the if a road just gets paved, you know, that 13.6, you know, might be lower than what it really is. So just keep those things in mind, guys. And I can't stress enough, if you see road closed or detour, make sure you pull over. You know, pull over, look at the map, see what road you can take to get around. And I recommend, you know, you use the Google Earth, that way you can see what it is, you know, because like I said, you don't want to be that driver that's doing the back of shame, you know. All right, y'all, so I will catch you guys in the next one.